Yeah. Okay, so let's go and jump right ahead. Hey guys, we're currently actually in New York,
Brooklyn,
Queens. I'm not sure. Where are we?
Queens or Brooklyn.
We're Queens or Brooklyn. Both works. Mm-hmm. Here with Kipola, JayKay. My right hand is right here with us, and we have Link that's in here. We were just talking about finding him an AKA, like a proper.
People call me King Tony or Link.
Who calls you King Tony? Who?
They really call me Tony.
Did he use the king though?
Hey, self-proclaimed.
It's actually funny because it was such like a hectic day just to get here.
Ouais, non, mais vraiment c'était vraiment compliqué, genre.
Yeah. Let's talk. We have time. Let's share a little bit.
This podcast moment is like bringing me joy. But apart from this, I'm like deflated right now. This coronavirus.
Yeah, no, let's talk about that.
No, let's talk about it. Because we came basically with the sole purpose of going to March Madness, right? That's like the whole point around this trip. Link lives in ATL, so for the people who don't know. And me and Joyce, we live in Montreal.
So we all did a trip, basically, to come to New York. Like, it wasn't c'était pas la porte d'à côté, comme on dit. Puis, en arrivant ici, tout va bien, tout est correct. And then afterwards...
Yesterday was actually fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, honnêtement, it was.
It was like I came in and I was like, oh, reunited with my homies.
Right.
You know, I ain't seen y'all in a while. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I was meeting Joyce. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
and then again, I made a best friend.
Yeah.
Just like JayKay.
I was reuniting with Kipola, so it was like, it's cool, it's dope. And then we actually went to the Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Went to the game, Big East basketball. Shout out to them.
Mm-hmm.
DePaul
actually really good
actually
game.
won. Yeah, it was a good game.
Yeah.
And then it was another game with your boy Lyric.
Yeah, we saw 2 games. So DePaul played
St. John.
No, that was the first game. St. John was playing Georgetown.
That was a good game though.
Yeah. Then DePaul was playing Xavier. Exactly. Shout out to DePaul for winning. Unfortunately, they canceled tonight. We're supposed to go again, but this virus is just...
Yeah. So yesterday we were at the game and like, I feel like the media was just... Information. But at first, like we were not laughing about it, but I mean, we weren't taking it all that serious, which is why we came here in the first place.
But like
we know it was like the virus was going on, but we didn't know it was like that.
It was like we thought we could be cautious and just like be fine.
We've been washing our hands.
Yeah.
We've been,
but the
not
thing
like
is,
touching
but
people.
I've been washing my hands.
But the thing about this virus and this whole thing is that like we were at the basketball game and everything was fine, and then just in a second, like, you know, the news on your phone, it pops up on everyone's phone. You need to have it, and then there was like a notification about like Trump's blocks the barrier in between like Europe and US, and then this basketball player has it, Tom Hanks has it, his wife, and like all under like 35 minutes, and everyone was just like, okay, what is going on? And then the biggest news was when the NBA canceled the season. And we were like, okay, so this is really taking like ça prend une épidémie qu'on n'y pensait pas justement. Fait qu'on est juste comme, okay, so what's going on? Everything is shutting down. New York City, the streets of New York. Je sais pas, vous êtes déjà allé à New York, là? Usually it's crowded. On dirait que tout le monde te pousse en même temps. It's empty, guys.
Yeah.
Loki, I didn't even realize that.
No, it is.
I was just like, I'm walking in these streets. It's cool. But usually it's like you don't have space to maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
And now it was kind of like, it was still people like in these streets, but we were like
75%
chilling,
of the people were not in the streets.
Definitely.
We had place, comme on avait le temps de genre s'arrêter, de savoir qu'est-ce qu'on voulait avant que quelqu'un nous bump dedans, tu comprends?
100%.
Which never happens.
But that was
Times
last
Square.
night. And still last night, it was like, oh my gosh, okay, the NBA is like canceling a game. Okay. Like, it was wow moment, but it wasn't like, okay, I'm nervous now yet.
Yeah.
I feel like that happened this morning.
But I feel like, as she was saying, like the flow of information that came in, like
in like matter of like
just
minutes.
rushing into your phone,
Every
like this
7
constant
minutes.
30 minutes of boom, 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 Rudy Gobert,
touching everything.
his teammate, and like everybody just like coronavirus. NCAA cancel, A10 conference cancel, SEC cancel, NBA cancel. It's like, all right, then you start like looking around you, like,
and be like,
did you wash your hands?
Like it wasn't getting to me, but like Jesus.
Now it's just I'm realizing, and like everyone's messaging me. They know we're in New York, and they're like, "Yo, be safe out there. Faites attention, revenez plus tôt. It's getting crazier." Blah blah blah. I'm just like, okay, like this
I
is
feel like
really
people
like an
are
apocalypse.
not gonna want to talk to us when
I feel like we're gonna come back and be like,
Self-quarantine.
did you self-quarantine quarantine yourself for 14 days.
I actually got that text message. You're like, yo, you're gonna have to stay home for like 2. Yo, listen, I got money to make. I got things to do. Okay?
Like, we're still gonna be careful and not like go like.
As long as you're not sick. Like, you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of feel like...
Look, this podcast is over.
Can we talk about the moment where we're in IHOP and that lady sneezed?
Oh, funny.
All the calories just came down the plates.
Funny.
Everyone started looking at each other. Wow. Honestly,
literally, I was walking in Manhattan last night.
Yeah.
And somebody like coughed like in front of me, and I was like, "Oh, swerve!" Like, we're not doing this, especially not in New York. New Rochelle, which is like maybe I want to say like an hour drive, maybe up from here. That whole whole city is like shut down.
Wow, really? The whole city.
So where do we think this is going? Like, what's the next few weeks gonna look like?
I think every city is gonna be quarantined. I don't know for here in States, but in Montreal, I heard that schools been closed. The events, the gathering of more than over 250 people has been canceled. Now the latest news is that no matter if it's 0 or 250, it's still canceled.
Yeah.
Some workplaces decided to close down until it gets better. Pretty sure the government is gonna do the same thing. Just everything comme les restaurants, it's pretty empty now. All the restaurants are pretty empty, especially the sushi places because it's raw meat and raw fish. It's just, I think just everyone's going to be quarantined.
Yeah? What do you think, Link? You're going back to ATL. What do you expect going back?
I feel like people at ATL, they're just like going on with their business, like as long as they wash their hands and they're doing what they gotta do. But then again, I get some text messages of people talking about, oh, I had this job interview today, but they canceled my job interview because of the virus. I'm like, so this really affects like people's 100%. Lives and just like the whole lifestyle. Cities, like people not going to the restaurant no more, like people not flying no more, the whole like economy, and it's worldwide too. That's the thing that like makes me think of like how big it is. It is worldwide.
Yeah.
And every day I feel like there's another country being quarantined. Today, Spain.
Italy,
Italy, Spain.
Italy was number 1. Après, il y a eu today, Spain. And then what's next? What's tomorrow?
Yeah.
I
so
feel like
Tokyo 2020, y'all
canceled.
Just don't bet on it.
We were supposed to go on our trip. We were hosting an event at the end of the month. I don't know how that's gonna go. Pretty sure that's gonna be canceled as well.
Pretty sure too.
Out in France, right?
Yeah. And we wanted to go to London too. I don't think that's going to be possible.
I think that's good.
I don't think it's going to be... I don't think anything's... Even traveling to Toronto, I don't think that's going to be possible.
I don't know.
Honestly.
Think with me though, like, my crazy self, I drove up here.
Yeah.
I drove up here, so I'm just moving on my own terms. I'm not depending on any airline, although I was supposed to fly, and American Airlines is playing with me right now.
So I need ideas, because now that we can't go out, we can't go to the restaurant, we can't go to the movies no more. I need activities that I'm going to be able to do quarantined.
You can go home.
Yeah, but be at home and do what? Because I'm an outdoorsy person. I feel like I'm outside most of the time. Like, what am I gonna do?
But the thing is, you could go outside, but I don't think there's gonna be much to do. But at least now the good weather is coming, so it's not too cold, whatever. Bad. So you can still go out. No,
the good weather is coming and we're quarantined.
No, but
what am I gonna do? I need options. Tell me.
Honestly, je sais même pas, because me, I was really expecting to go to Terrasse Bon Secours and everything. I don't even think that's gonna be happening.
Boozy brunch, guys.
Exactly, roofed up terraces. I don't even think that's gonna happen too. So chilling at your place, going to friends' house.
We gonna FaceTime.
Okay, we can FaceTime. I can FaceTime more. That's a good idea, actually.
You like that?
No, I mean, I'm gonna have to get used to it. Like, if you have to stick at home, like, what am I gonna do?
She says I'm gonna have to get used to it.
FaceTime now allows you to have a conversation with multiple people. Right? Use this feature, guys.
She said I'm gonna get used to it as if it's gonna go on until 2022.
We don't know.
To be honest, just...
Yo, listen, we're flying back this evening, right?
Yeah.
Say we get to the airport and they tell us you have to stay at home for 2 weeks. What are you gonna do at home?
I'm gonna go out still. Like,
what do you mean?
Okay, but if you told me
she's the problem.
No, I'm not the problem. Okay, the problem.
Do not be like JayKay.
The problem is all the people. No. The problem is the problem is all the people that was like diagnosed.
But you don't know.
Yeah, I understand that. Is that whenever I'm gonna feel a symptom, to be honest, I'm gonna go to the hospital. Before I went here in New York City, I went and checked myself to see what was good.
They say it could take up to like 2-ish days before you can feel any symptoms.
Okay, no problem. So until Tuesday, I'm gonna stay home just to prevent and everything. And if I feel anything, I'm gonna go to the clinic or the hospital to make sure I'm good. But then again, they said that black people, immunized, so that melanin be popping.
There's some NBA players that got it, so
just touching all the mice.
I'm not too sure about that.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Anywho, so let's get right into it. Actually, before we start, maybe we could say what we do.
A little
specify.
Introduction.
Huh?
Little introduction.
Yeah, just a small introduction. We gave the names out, but
You know what? Let me start off by asking you, Miss
Me?
Wakilongo, what do you do? Who are you?
Fine, I'll start. It's fine. So Wakilongo Kipola on Instagram.
You see the logo out here?
Logo is right up there.
Very elegant.
Thank you. It was done by Miro and Ashley. Shout out to DV, guys. They do an amazing job. If you guys need a logo in Montreal or even not in Montreal, I definitely consider you guys to go there. So real estate agent at first. I also do PR with She, signed by She on Instagram, and radio host at Passe le Mot every Friday night from 7 to 9, CBL 101.5 FM, in case you guys want to listen, with our co-host, JayKay.
Hi. Hi, fuck you.
Go ahead.
So hi, Joyce, or JayKay if you want to. Me basically, I'm into beauty. So I'm looking into opening officially. It's already there at my beauty store with my partner Yelza. Coming soon, hopefully if the virus doesn't knock us down. Really.
Yeah.
Booking agent as well. In partnership with my public relation agent, Kipola. And a radio host à Passe le Mot as well, CBL 101.5, tous les vendredis de 7h à 9h. Vous pouvez nous écouter. C'est ça, sur le live, on Twitter, IG, Spotify, Apple Music soon, probably.
À suivre.
Yeah. So we're everywhere.
Yes. Now
and
Link.
You?
Mr. King Tony.
What up? So my name is Link. People also call me Tony. It's funny because I get my business card and it says my name Link Kavajundi on it.
Okay.
But it says KingTonyPics on top, and people see my card with my name Link on it, but they call me Tony. They refer to me as Tony. So
okay.
I guess King Tony here. My logo's right there. KTP for KingTonyPics, photographer. I'm working on video, so videographer as well. Mm-hmm. And what else? I do graphic design. Yeah, that's basically what I do. So if you're in the ATL and are hearing this, holla at the boy.
Or even if you're not in ATL, holla.
Yeah, I travel a lot, so
I feel like you're everywhere.
Florida, Dallas. I'm here in New York City right now.
We're just in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
even if you're not in ATL, to be honest, do you like traveling?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My travel is not bougie right now, but I'm gonna get there.
You'll get there.
It doesn't need to be bougie.
Oh, I'll make it work.
Okay. Fair enough. So we're gonna do just a random. I'm gonna call this a random podcast because we don't really have
until further notice.
Yeah, until further notice. We can just be the random podcast for now.
That's a dope name.
So we're gonna talk entrepreneurship because we're all entrepreneurs here on the table. So biggest victories. What would you guys consider some of your biggest victories? Let's start with Joyce.
Well, biggest victory. Since we're in the entrepreneurship ground, my biggest victory was really to drop everything that the society or the people around me was telling me that I have or had to do in order to succeed. Yeah. So could be school, going in that program, doing a 9 to 5 in order to find that career, and then retirement to do this and this and that. I decided that for me, maybe it wasn't that, for my happiness, my well-being, and just maybe discovering myself and everything. Mm-hmm. So my biggest victory was to take that loss and drop everything. I have hate from everyone around me, the family, friends, thinking I'm not doing that right thing. But then the months went through and I was like, I think that was my biggest victory, to do it, what I wanted to do for myself. Because I think happiness is the only thing that cannot be bought. And from that, you can get whatever you want to do.
Totally.
Want to have, sorry.
Exactly. So one of the biggest, I feel like, arguments when it comes to people who are working 9 to 5 and want to go maybe into business or start something, it's the financial part, right? So they're all saying okay, I have financial responsibilities. How could I just quit this and then go to into business or start my own thing? So how was that for you?
It was hard, to be honest, because I really did it sans un coup de tête.
Okay.
Literally, I just one day I woke up for work and I was like, see, it's been 5 days in a row even more than that, I'm just like, every time I wake up, I'm like, I don't want to go. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to drop it. I quit. I don't want to.
Did you have like money aside? Or?
I did have a little, but not enough for me to be like, if ever like I go and start my own business and then I trip, I got my fall, I'm not going to have enough for me to support myself. But then again, I was already started doing some things on the side, like makeup and lashes and everything. So that could help me.
Yeah.
And also, whenever you do that, for working 9 to 5, on va dire, from Monday to Friday, you're tired too. So like the moment you stop doing that, you're tired, so you start loafing. So that 1-2 weeks of loafing, you lost money. So it was hard, to be honest. It was really, really hard. But the moment that you wake up and you realize that like you cannot stay like that your whole life, you decided to quit. You're happier right now with your own schedule and everything. Make it worth your while. Okay. So I got up, started doing things. It takes a while. Like I always say, you need to lose in order to gain. It's always like that. Some people are born with a silver spoon. Some people are not. I was not. So I started doing my things and everything. And slowly but surely, it's coming, you know. Yeah. Exactly. Like, we're getting booked.
Yeah, we are. We're starting to.
Exactly. So, you know,
booked and busy.
There you go. Booked and busy. Everyone's like, Joyce, you don't have time for me anymore. I'm like, you know, like, it's just the start. Let me put it into perspective. Let me know what I'm going to do. And then maybe 1 year, 1.5 years, the way the things are moving really, really fast.
Yeah, we never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Last thing before we move on to Link, when I quit my job, my 9 to 5, I was at my parents'. You are as well, right? Yeah. Do you feel like it would be a little bit different for somebody who isn't at their parents'?
Yeah, that's for sure. Because, you know, you have rent to pay, then the food, and there's a lot of responsibilities. And I say like a big shout out.
Like,
big shout out to my parents for being really patient 100%. With me. And like, they see me like, oh, Joyce, tu fais quoi? Nah. I'm like, like, yes, it's hard for them, you know, to see me, like, not taking the path that they took. Yeah. But once the results is going to come in, they're going to be really happy, you know? Totally. Exactly. But it's really different for someone that doesn't live with their parents.
100%.
So,
I can
like,
only imagine.
Honestly, if you can have some money saved up on the side and just be sure that you're good for, like, 6-7 months, let's say to a year, then do it, but do not loaf. If you do it, it's just because you know where you're going. And you know that by the end of the money that you saved up for your rent or whatever, you're going to be okay because you already have something cooking up.
Totally.
Exactly, and
100%.
giving you results.
Well, Link, you haven't been at your parents for a little bit. How's that been for you?
So it's been a different process. I've been so I played college basketball. Yeah. I've been in Texas for a little bit until I just recently moved to ATL down south. Hey, shout out. But yeah, I've been like in Dallas Fort Worth for a while, which feels like home now. But yeah, I was like taken care of as far as like basically like everything, playing college basketball here in the States. Like I was blessed to be on a full scholarship, so take care of my rent, some of my food.
Yeah, parts of it. But you still have to like learn to manage it. You still have to learn to manage your money because they're giving you a scholarship, but
you do have to do that. And I feel like your question is like, you do have to manage your money because if not, you're not going to eat. But my perspective is like, you do have to manage it because if you don't learn to do that when you're still in school and they're providing for you, once you get out of that like system where they support you, you finna learn.
Ooh, child.
It's about to be something. So,
I feel like that happens a lot.
Yeah. So it's been a very like cool learning like journey, I guess, to be living on campus, having teammates surrounding me, a lot of resources as far as like most things that I needed. But yeah, I actually started living without my parents even back in Canada. Yeah. So my last few years up in Canada were without my parents, and even then it was like weird. Yeah, it was weird because it was, I don't know, it's like that you feel like, oh, they're not gonna tell me like they're not like, you're not under constant supervision. Yeah. So it's like, oh, at the end of the day, that's where you get to learn like discipline and okay, I really have to do this. Like if they're not watching, I still have like some responsibilities and I owe it to myself to live up to these standards. So I started learning from there. That's where I kind of started like learning how to cook and do all that stuff. A lot of my teammates down in the States were telling me, oh, you're like a really good cook. Like, how did that happen? And I'm just like, oh, I started like learning way back then. And then, of course, I had like my sisters and my mother back then where I could ask questions. But it's really like when you got to do it, if you want to eat, then hey.
You have to cook.
Exactly.
Yeah, I still have a hard time with that one up until today. So
well, see, if you want to eat, you either learn to cook or you learn how to make that bread.
Ooh, yeah.
It's true.
You learn how to order properly.
Shrimp tacos.
So what would you say was your biggest like victory?
So I had like this big idea of an answer, but honestly, my biggest victory is to be sitting right here with both of you.
Really? Why?
Because she's getting all emotional. And you're like, let's get to the facts.
No,
Why?
Tell me. Make it make sense.
So I say that because being here, it's like it's like knowing that I'm fulfilling what I'm supposed to do. And this is taking me like where I'm destined to go or where I'm trying to go. Me doing podcasts, speaking to the public about like my experience, although I feel like there's way more to come.
Yeah.
But and introducing like my brand to the people that haven't heard.
I'm so proud.
Like this is thank you. This is just me like pushing myself, my brand, my entrepreneurship to like a new level. Yeah. Which means I haven't given up yet.
There you go.
Good.
Yeah.
So I'm still here and this is my biggest victory, I believe.
Coronavirus or not, we are here.
Yeah. Corona or not, we are here.
We are here. As for me,
what about yourself? Your biggest victory?
I feel like my biggest victory. It's kind of funny because thinking about it, I feel like I kind of ended here not on purpose, and by here I just mean like me, my person. I feel like one of my biggest victories to me is just acknowledging where the demand is and then fulfilling it if that makes sense.
Yeah.
100%. So I've noticed with the years, so I'm posting a little bit more information, stuff like that, and people have actually been gravitating towards what I've been bringing on the table, but that was just like me trying to be me in a sense.
That was just
so the fact that people are actually gravitating towards it and asking for more of it is just pushing me to like do more, and all that permitted me to like get to know myself, because now like I ask, because I'm trying to be as authentic as possible online. I hate being like sold something, you know, like when I have, not to diss anybody, but like to me I didn't want to be the type of real estate agent that would post like, okay, house for sale, house for sale, house for sale. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like it's still share like actual information that people would actually benefit from. So I'm in terms selling without selling, if that makes sense.
If I can just like maybe do an example, if I'm understanding it right, it's like, for example, when I look in your Instagram, you're like, okay, time for a visit, and then you're like, for example, grabbing my Nespresso, going, this is a nice house, this could be cute for a family, whatever. But then also you'll mention information about like, be careful guys, whenever you buy a house, this is this and that, you have to like look, you need to like make sure there's an inspector, whatever. I think for me, I think you're the only one that does that, because usually they don't really want the public to know so they can get more money, like the agents and everything, you know?
Well, when I first started, I just felt like, okay, you become like, it cannot be real estate, it could just be like a corporate, anything corporate. Like you feel like you have to have like the really well like clothes, like the blazers, you know, be like very proper,
pencil skirts.
Like I was on my first vacation actually, and I was like with other real estate agents, and I was taking pictures, and one of them was like, okay, why are you taking pictures? I was like, oh, for my Instagram. And she's like, what, you're gonna post that you're on vacation? I was like, well, yeah, because I am. And she was like, none of my clients know I'm on vacation, they can't know that I'm having fun, they need to know that I work all the time. But it was like, that's not me.
But this is just so not I just life feel like, in general.
Well, exactly. And I just feel like people gravitate towards personality more than they do.
It's true.
Like just, I feel like you could just smell it when somebody is trying to sell you something. Yeah, it's true. And with time, I've just learned to like let go of like what I think a real estate agent or a businesswoman or a woman needs to look like. And I just like try to be Kipola, and it's actually working out for me.
True.
So
yeah.
It's funny because, sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
So my roommate and former teammate, he's also a real estate agent, and he's like, oh, like always speaks about all the maybe like misconceptions or all the images of people that people have of like real estate agent. He's like, it's not because I'm not in a suit that I'm not like getting my work done. Like we out here in these streets working in like jogging pants. Like
exactly. And I just feel like when you try to be something you're not, it just ends up like catching up to you regardless.
Yeah,
well, people you can see it. Well, some people sense it. There's a lot of people 100%. That can read like body language.
Yeah, because then they meet you in real life and like they're gonna talk to you about something that you're not even really into, and just the whole thing is off. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just learning actually to like be myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, people understanding you will gravitate around
100%, and the ones that don't, they don't.
The fact that people gravitate like towards you when you're being authentic is a huge compliment.
That means the world. And I feel like my whole clientele is actually different because of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, look at me.
Yeah, exactly.
You attract JayKay?
Yeah, but I mean, she attracts JayKay, and people were like, well, I mean, like, you know, like, Kipola is so organized and on time and everything, and me, I'm just like, you know, it's JayKay land. I'm just like, I'm seeing butterflies everywhere, but then we're a super good team.
Yeah,
we get things done. Like,
she actually is starting to wake up earlier.
Yeah, like,
it's just really fun.
Yeah, thank you for
rubbing off
by myself.
So biggest failures. So we spoke about the positive. Let's talk about the negative failures.
I mean, failures is really all the time that I lost. Listening to the people saying like, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to be like that, you're supposed to dress like that, you're supposed to speak like that. Other people trying to make me a perfect image of the society. I think for me that was my biggest failure, because instead of like just focusing on what can make me happy, I mean, I could have started my journey earlier, you know?
You could have.
Exactly. For me, that's my biggest failure. But then again, you learn from your failure, 100%.
Right? That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. I feel like you wouldn't even maybe be here if it wasn't for that.
If it wasn't for that, I don't, no, at all.
Yeah.
Really. Like,
I understand your feeling though. I definitely have that feeling where I feel like if I would have done some things earlier, then oh my gosh, imagine where I would have been now.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, but like for example, I have a very, very close friend of mine who was thinking about a project 10 years ago. He's older, but 10 years ago, and he never actually started it. And now he's like, I should have, you know. So like he's like, okay, I'm gonna start it now. But if he would have started it, like, would he actually? Yeah, it would have been done. But if you see it that way, then you're just never gonna do it, and then you'll wait another 10 years, and then say like, oh shit, it's been like 20 years. I should have, you know. So yeah.
Well, I mean, I said like, I should have started earlier. I would have been in that position, whatever. Yeah. Well, I started when I started,
exactly,
which was like at the end of 2019, and let's see where it's gonna go.
100%.
Like where I am right now, speaking with you at this podcast in Brooklyn, Queens, I would have never been there if I didn't take that decision of going. See, so. One step at a time, and learn from your failures always. Yeah.
Link failures.
Shoot. There's some weeks.
He's like, which one?
For real. It's some weeks it feels like every day. It's just like you get like rejections or like no's and stuff like that. And at first it was like coming out of college. It's like, all right, like time to get a job. So apply for all of these jobs, and then it's like no response, or thank you for your application. However, we have already chosen our candidate. So applied for so many jobs, and then
and you finished school, huh? Tell them, by the way.
I got undergrad and master's degree.
Got it.
But it's not but I feel like this happens a lot though. Like you finish with like all these credentials, diplomas, and everything, and then you get on the work spot, and then nothing.
It's like these jobs. They're like, well, we want you to have 12 years of experience,
right?
Yeah, but I just graduated,
but we don't want to give you experience.
I was barely a teenager. Like what? You want me to get my degree? I get my degree, and then I get my degree. It's like, oh, we want all of this experience. So. But when I was in school, I had already like started the KingTonyPics, like brand, I guess, and I was taking photos, like senior graduation photos, stuff like that. I get a little money here, get a little money there, and then actually my final year of my master's, I was a graduate assistant for the athletics department, meaning I was working for the athletics department, and I was my main duty was like photography. So I did photos of like all sports that we have at our school. Shout out to UTA, UT Arlington, all my Texas folks. But yeah, I was taking photos there. It got me a little experience. But then I feel like it's always different, like when you step into the real world 100%. And then you're like, oh, like, I don't know. I felt like I was underqualified, although I had undergrad in this, master's in this. I had taken photos here, there. I had done graphic design. Yeah. And then it was like, yo, this is heavy. Like, and then you got people over there looking at you like, oh, you got your degree, like, you making money? Like, what are you doing now? And then it's like, dang. And then you got like family members that are just like, have certain expectations on you. And then
I feel like especially immigrants.
Yeah.
Ooh,
especially, yeah, they put so much pressure for you to like finish school, and then you finish, and they put so much pressure for you to have a career, and then they put so much pressure for you to have a wife or a man.
Not even that.
At first, you have to be a doctor or an engineer, and then you choose something else. Okay, get your degree, get a good job, and then it's like, oh, it's like, your timeline for my life is not actually the way it's gonna go.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh shoot, they're applying pressure. Yeah. And then, but if you let yourself like crumble under that pressure, like you're just never gonna make it. You're gonna realize that you have like your certain process, and as long as like you're grinding, doing what you gotta do, being like holding yourself accountable and being disciplined, like you're gonna make it.
Totally.
Because they have good intentions.
Yeah,
but,
always. But I just don't think they see the repercussions of like what they're technically doing.
The mental repercussions.
Because that's the thing. Like I feel like some people, you know, like we were the fortunate ones to not listen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people did, and then they're still unhappy.
Yeah, they are.
Or they're doing a career that they're not like.
Sometimes
have so
like
many examples.
I see JayKay's thriving. I've known you for a long time. Like, I'm so proud of you. You're out here, like, doing your thing.
Yeah.
And
I try.
It's like, if you fell under the pressure of people telling you what to do, you would have never, like, realized all of this potential.
That you have it in yourself.
But sometimes they're talking so much in your ear, it makes you feel like you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah, you just want to give them what they want so they can stop talking. By the end of the day, you don't realize that it's your life. You know?
100%.
I do have to mention that I am a 7-footer. I'm 7'1".
Yeah.
So I said I played college basketball. I'm 7'1". People are like, yo, like you in the NBA? Even when I moved to Atlanta, you played for the Hawks. When I was in Dallas, you played for the Mavericks. I traveled to Phoenix. You play for the Suns? Like, I'm like, nah. Like at this point, I'm like, nah, I don't play basketball. They're like,
you should. You're wasting
what?
You're wasting your height.
You're wasting your height, all of that. And then it was so funny the other time I was in Walmart, and then I told this guy, nah, I had like injuries and 5 surgeries. And then he's like, but you can recover from that. That ain't.
Oh my God.
I'm just like, yo, I ain't even about to argue with you. Like, it's cool. But all of this, like, people are just like,
expecting.
They're projecting their
trying to live their dreams onto you. Trying to live the
Exactly. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't
that crazy?
But the parents, I'm pretty sure they're not doing it.
They're doing it out
for our own good.
No, that's Well, to me, especially immigrant parents, I feel like just they don't know better.
Yeah,
they didn't
have the choice.
No, but that's the thing, because like to them it was just more in terms of like surviving, providing.
Exactly.
We came here to give you a better life.
Exactly.
It's true. No, it's true.
Exactly.
And it's what they did.
But what's fun with our generations is like we are very much aware that there is infinite possibilities, but we've known that because we've grown. Most part of us have grown around here, which we can see it. They did not see that. It was just like to provide.
Parents, the parents' lifestyle.
So it's not exactly. So like you were saying, it is like in terms of doing good for us, like good intentions, but at the same time, it's just they didn't know better. I feel that's what I think.
Yeah,
that's why I appreciate like, especially like. I know there's a lot going on in Canada, but I've been in the States for a while, and I'm much more aware of like what's going on here. So many people that are like in higher spaces, So I don't know if y'all know Yvonne Orji.
Yeah,
she's a comedian. Insecure. Shout out Insecure.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually met her after her comedy show in ATL, and her whole comedy show was like from Lagos to L'Oreal. Mm-hmm. She's Nigerian, and she was talking about like growing up African and stuff like that. So she exposes like these issues, but she people could say she's made it, but she's still like on a rise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I appreciate her like showing other African people, African Americans, but like African people, that there are like opportunities. And like in the States it's kind of like two battles, like Africans that have grown with African parents, like getting to know that there's all these other opportunities and it's okay to do like other things than engineering and
doctor,
like
lawyer.
medicine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then again, even like African Americans, like Black people in the States here, just like understanding and knowing that it's you can be like you can get like to the top or be successful doing other things that like being an athlete and being a rapper. Mm-hmm. So it's just stuff like that. Just getting to know that there's opportunities to do be successful basically in other areas than what people conceive as like this is 100%. The way.
Mm-hmm. I read Charlemagne's book, and he's talking about that a lot, where he grew up. It was like justement people aspiring to be rappers, people aspiring to be artists, people aspiring to be actors, but the radio thing worked really well for him, and he's like, but we don't think about necessarily becoming a radio host, you know.
People are so limited.
I know.
Yeah, they are.
But then again, we can blame it on so many things too.
Yeah, it's
true. Like whatever we say, like, oh, we do radio, they're like, oh, so like you rap? Okay, so like you sing? So what do you do at the radio? And like, no, we just, like, we talk about anything. We invite artists.
Yeah, I host.
Yeah, like, I host. Oh, okay. So like sometimes you sing. So they always have this block mentality. They're trying to link
it back.
Yeah, that crazy. Whenever you have a mic and a camera on you is because you entertain the crowd by dancing or singing or rapping. They don't know there's more to it. It's
like me taking photos at basketball camp. They're like, "You're supposed to be on the court. You're supposed to be playing." Yeah, I'm like, I'm on the court, but
just doing something different.
I'm living my dream. It's just not your dream of me playing. So I'm chill. I'm great.
And for you, your biggest failure, Kipola?
I feel like I've had a lot, to be honest. I'm a person who, if I have like something in my head, I have this like feeling until I don't try it. Mm-hmm. I'm that person. So whenever I try something, obviously it's not going to work out every single time. That's for sure. So I just feel like I had a lot of fuck ups. Mm-hmm. But failure, I think it's a little bit in terms of like what you said earlier. I just feel like when I was younger, I went to Toronto, right? And then I studied in PR, and I think I just wasn't ready mentally at that time. Mm-hmm. So I ended up coming back after a year, but I really should have stayed there. Okay. I feel like if I would have stayed there, like the amount of things I did within a year
brought you where you are right now. Yeah. So imagine if you would have stayed the full course. Yeah, I feel you.
But I was too worried about like not being at my friends' parties, you know, like you keep seeing like everything on social media. And at that time I was 19 years old. So like friends actually really matter. Elevation requires isolation. Right? Yeah. I think to speak again, there's a little issue with my... Hey. Okay, that's fine. Perfect. Cool. Yeah, but yeah, so when you're younger, like obviously priorities are a little bit different. So at that time, I feel like my surroundings, and especially when you grow up in Montreal, like it's very small, so everybody's like super tight. So I left there, but it's like my body left, but my mind didn't. Yeah.
It feels like you were missing out on everything.
But it was crazy. Like the things I did there in like a matter of a year is insane. Like if I would have stayed there, finished my PR program, and just like continue to do what I was doing, like I don't even know, like I said, where I would be right now. But you know what? Like you said, timing, I think everything happens for a reason. And it led me to here, but now I'm like fully aware of it. Yeah. Fully aware.
As long as you learn.
100%. Exactly. And like sometimes, especially women, you know, like we tell ourselves like we have like a certain time clock to do like everything. Oh my God. I'm 27, so I feel like I'm kind of old.
No, I feel that time clock really puts comme des bâtons dans les roues. Because everyone's like, okay, like 24, 25, I'm married, 26, I have a child. Then you're here at that age, you're just like, I have so much to accomplish. I don't have time.
But my priorities have like totally changed since then. And I'm really on a que sera sera vibe right now.
What does that mean?
What would be, will be.
Yeah, what will be, will be.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I've been in Montreal for so long.
Que sera sera dans le sens où genre.
I just didn't understand the word.
Yeah, like what will happen will happen. I'm really today. Like I'm a really day-to-day person.
Yeah.
I make sure that whenever there's like something, you know, even if it's like something stressful or whatever, it's just like, okay, like let's deal with it, move on. Let's deal with it, move on. And then a new day is a new day. And I feel like that's really important for not only my mind peace.
Yeah.
My peace of mind, but also for just like my personal growth. So I just like always just try different things. If I have something, I'm just gonna do it, and then we'll see how it goes.
And also, when you say like priorities, I think that's important because some people are like, okay, for example, oh, I'm missing this party today, blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna have fun. Okay, that's good. That's perfect. Or there's a situation, I'm stressed. I'm gonna handle it that way.
Yeah.
Some people don't understand this. No matter what you do, it could be like buying an orange at the store. It could be waking up in the morning. You need to know what could be the advantages of doing that and the total désavantage.
Yeah.
And then exactly decide if you want to do it or not for the future. It's a day by day thing. Honestly, you need to treat everything minute by minute, day by day, but make sure it's going to bring you something for your future.
Yeah.
You understand?
Let me speak on priorities. It's so funny.
Let's speak on priorities.
Because I was telling y'all, since I moved to ATL like 6 months ago, I have not like been out yet.
Yeah.
We were like, you're crazy.
I didn't go out yet. Like go out.
In ATL, like
strip clubs, chicken wings.
Yeah, people keep saying like, yeah, Magic City, this, that, and like I'm not like restricting myself. I'm not going out. I'm staying inside. Like that's not what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's just like, especially like the first like few months, it was when I'm talking about rough. Ooh, I was like trying to adjust and trying to know like, what the heck am I doing with my life? So it was like, yo, I need a game plan. Like, I'm just.
You're in your bubble.
Yeah, I need to stay focused.
Yeah.
So.
But is going out like gonna unfocus you?
I mean, it's not even that, but my mind was just not there at all.
Okay, we just weren't in the mood. That's fine though. Like, because I don't believe in restrictions.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, I was not like restricting myself, but my priorities were so set on. My mindset was not like don't go out, because actually like I've been to a few like bars with my friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't like. It's just my mindset was not like, oh, let's go, and not even that. It wasn't let's go out and party, but it was just like, yo, what are you doing tomorrow in order to like make it this week? Okay. So it was that kind of grind.
That's fine.
Yeah. I was not like restricting myself, like I'm not going out.
I feel like there's a major, like, especially today, I feel like I keep hearing like, oh, like, comment on dit ça? Genre, les personnes qui sortent, you know, like, c'est un peu mal vu in a sense. It's like, okay, mais, like you don't have your shit together. Like, why are you going out? You know, as if like that had a correlation.
Is that how it is in Montreal?
Oh. Tu sais le nombre de fois que on m'a dit
mais sort tout le temps.
You're always in clubs. You're always out. You're always eating. You're always in shishas. You're always in clubs. You're earning love.
But who's judging you though?
Everyone, literally everyone in the stamps. You're like, I don't understand how you say you're working when I always see you in clubs.
What are they doing? They're wasting time with their day.
You know what? I feel like I've met like most of my clientele when I was going out.
Thank you. That's honestly
like you never know where you're gonna meet people.
Thank you.
Put yourself out there. I'm not saying like go like you have to club every day.
No,
but like just put yourself out there and be open to like.
I feel like anything you do, how you do it, will change the whole like dynamic.
Like going out doesn't mean being sloppy, like
right?
Yeah, for me it depends. I mean, like if you really go out, you just like drown your sorrows in alcohol and everything.
That's different.
But like me, honestly. Like as a working
it's
agent,
like a networking opportunity.
It's one of I feel like it's one of the best network opportunities because everybody's like just loose. They're just there to have a good time.
Exactly.
They're open to talking. Like we've made mad like connections
going out and meeting DJs and everything.
So in ATL, I'm like I have no choice but to like go out there and network because with my photography, like this is what I do. So I've been to like events that almost like for people that were attending, it almost felt like going out, but for me, it's like when I work, like I work.
Yeah.
So, it was like, oh, I could post on my Snapchat like this is going on. It's like a birthday party. You have like the bottle girls with people like drinking, having a good time, and I'll take the free food and stuff. I will enjoy it. But like when I'm there, I'm just like, all right, I'm really there like for business.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy myself.
Okay.
But
that's what I was gonna ask.
It's like the mindset is like I'm like, all right, this is what I'm here for.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
Well, just to finish, because we actually have 19 minutes left. It's going back super fast.
Wow.
This is too much fun.
I could do this for hours.
Right? But just to finish off on what you were saying, like earlier when I was talking about like finding myself, it's your personality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've come to find that business works for me that much more when I'm literally being myself.
Out there.
So like when I go out, I have a good time. I'll drink a little bit. We'll have some laughs. I'll be a little quirky, a little bit awkward. That's just my vibe. And when I'm like that with somebody and they're themselves as well, we build an actually stronger connection because it's zero business oriented. It goes back to what I was saying, like just selling without selling. Because then after that, you guys exchange like numbers, whatever. And it's like just fluid. And then after when they actually see what you do and you maintain that relationship.
They're like, hey, have something that can work for you. I do this and this and this and that. And you're like...
And I feel like
I could have never
anything built organically.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
I don't even have to finish my sentences.
So I'm going to skip one of those questions and I want to go to the importance of your surroundings.
Meaning?
The people around you. So if you want to give examples of like people who have propelled you forward or people who have slowed you down.
I have 2 roommates out in the ATL, and they're like my brothers, my best friends.
Where'd you meet them?
So one I played basketball with at UTA. His name is DJ Bryant.
Shout out DJ.
If you have any real estate needs in the state of Georgia, Florida, or anywhere in the country really, holla at my boy DJ Bryant. He will get you right. When I tell y'all, he was like the hardest working person on the team like for basketball.
Yeah, and that just propelled into the real estate.
Same like energy. Grit and grind, energy. Like we be chilling, and he'll have it like his computer open, like
that's
just doing
Kipola.
some studying like some real estate stuff.
Along, I feel.
Man,
yeah, that's
y'all
Kipola.
need to meet. Come to Atlanta, you'll meet him. But anyways, so he's like that hardworking person. And so I'm a man of faith. He's a man of faith as well. And sometimes when I had like, I'll say spiritual mishaps, he's like always a person I can lean on to like help me out and just like get me right or get me better like mentally, and always like refer everything back to God, which I appreciate.
Okay, so you guys have that in common where you can share.
Yeah, but just overall, like he's always been like a person with low to no negativity. Okay. And that's always really like to have. Always positive, so and always like encouraging, like, yo, my photographer is the shit. Like so well, he doesn't encourage, so my photographer is the guy. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So he's like a really good person. And then I met my other roommate because they've known each other since they were like 4 years old. And I met him last May in Orlando. Both of them are from Florida, do real estate, and we just like vibe. I feel like Hunter's his name. Hunter and I, we're like very much alike in a lot of different like areas.
So how do you feel like they like helped you in your
journey?
Yeah.
So first of all, like DJ, just his network, has a lot of the people that he knew. He's like introduced me. He was always like, "Oh yeah, just come to this event with me. Oh, that's nice. You can take photos here." He introduced me to this NFL player out in Fort Worth. I took photos and videos of his camp and connected with them.
So he's actually like plugged you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So very good like connections. He has like people in the corporate world, entrepreneurs and stuff like that. So I feel like that has like kind of been a positive disruptor in my life where I could like capitalize off of that.
That's good. And positive. No, negative.
Without giving names.
I will say.
Or give names.
Yeah.
So, this guy, Matthew. I'm just playing.
Always a Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew's like...
It was Luke. No, but, it's just, I will say, like, the people that have a vision for you that is set in stone.
Yeah.
If you're not doing this, you're not doing the right thing.
Then you're a failure.
Those are the people that will slow you down. And it can be people close to you. It can be people that are not close to you, strangers, people in Walmart, that if you're not a basketball, you're wasting your height. A basketball player, you're wasting your height. That kind of stuff. So depending on who it is and what like ties they have with you, it can be like kind of draining.
Yeah.
We're talking about like our biggest failures that we've had. I could say the biggest one was like to feel like I was a failure.
Yeah, by those people.
So that's kind of like that gets tough.
Yeah.
And then, but having people like Hunter and DJ around me that are like, yo, like you're dope, dog. That is cool. And just like realizing for myself as well, like, yo, I do this and the proof is in the pudding. Like, look at my work.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Instagram at KingTonyPics. Go check out my work and see how dope I am.
Yes.
And work with me. So yeah, just people that are like have a little bit of negative energy and stuff like that. Even though they feel like their intentions are good, that can be slightly or very toxic. So just be careful, 100%. Guys. Yeah.
Joyce?
Well, for me, we're gonna start with the negative.
Yeah.
Really, like it's around what he said. Everyone. For me, really, what's the negative people around me, whatever, it's people seeing what I'm doing and not being capable of telling me, for example, what I think is not working. You know, like if you're around me and you see me doing something, and for example, I'm wearing an outfit and you're like, yeah, it looks nice.
Oh, but it's not?
Instead of saying, okay. You know, this color is not right for you. Why? Oh, because of this and this and that. So for me to grow from that critic,
okay,
right?
So you feel like people around you are not like actually...
Well, the negative people around me are not telling me what I'm doing wrong.
Okay.
It's more the strangers that I met starting doing the radio. They're telling me you should do this and this and that. And all the friends around me are not pushing me, honestly. Even when I started the beauty salon like 2 years ago, I think I only had one friend came for me to do her lashes. And everyone that was referring me and my clientele was growing were all strangers telling me, for example, oh, this, you could do this and that better, whatever. And my friends were just like, oh, yeah, that's great. I see you doing great things. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it. You know, or like giving me bad energy because I don't have time for them. Honestly, it's just like you see me trying to do something that I like doing instead of being like, you know, I know it's going to take a while for you to get where you get. So I'm going to like try to push you. Yes, it's sad I'm not seeing you, but like, you know, it could be really draining to like entertain a relationship when you know you have like a paper to do, whatever. Yeah. You know, you can do both, but just understand how things to do, you know? And what's positive for me, like I said, it's like, you know, the strangers. And like I always say, it's not because I'm saucing or whatever, but like Kipola. No, you guys don't even understand how this girl is literally my biggest inspiration. I've been watching How to Get Away with Murder.
She's like, connect the dots quick.
No, connect the dots quick. Because if you do listen to How to Get Away with Murder, the main character, okay? What's her name?
Annalise Keating.
Annalise Keating or Viola Davis. Okay, this girl is seen as the junk. No, she's seen as the girl that always has her things together, blah blah blah. But like she's the image of the Black woman that society is afraid of. She has her things together. She has money. People respect her, and she make people respect her as well. And for me, it's Kipola because she literally doesn't need anyone to do her things, you know? She's the definition of the Black woman that the society is afraid of. Preach. And honestly, and when she wants something, she gets it done. And she's not scared of telling you if you're not doing the right thing or not. And I've learned a lot from Kipola. At first, it wasn't, like when we met at the radio, she was a little bit quiet and everything. But when I got close to her, I saw that like this girl,
I see.
Got it.
Got it.
No, honestly though, like biggest. Not even kidding. Oh. About to cry.
No, shout out to Kipola for real though.
Yeah,
shout out to you for real.
You're sweet.
No, yeah.
I feel like it's been it's funny for me right now because I am getting like positive comments, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just funny to see because all the past years and what has been going on like behind the scenes has been a little hectic. Mm-hmm. I feel like the surroundings that I had and the people that I thought were like positive, like I'm a people person. Anybody who meets me, like we meet, if it's good vibes, we're friends. Like that's my thing. Like we're automatically friends, and I trust you until I don't trust you, where normally people don't trust until they trust.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Me, it's like kind of the opposite. And I feel like with time I've just had like my closest friends or like medium close friends just fall like flies.
Yeah.
One after the other, you know? And like every single time I'd be heartbreak. But what I'm actually happy about is because everybody's like been kind of like falling and fucking up and whatever, it's permitted me to see like who is actually there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a very low quantity, but it's soothing because at least now I know who is actually there.
Yeah. Who's going to be there for you whenever.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm the type of person that if like I can share some information and like give, because that's what I feel bits and pieces have been coming from a little bit of everywhere. Mm-hmm. If I feel like I can share something and give back, that's what I want to do. But at the same time, I want to concentrate my energy on people that I know are actually there for the right reasons, that are actually there to like stay there. Mm-hmm. So like it's a negative, positive in the sense where, yeah, like I have had like, I feel bad friendships and maybe negative people around me, but since they've been gone, now I only see like, okay, who's actually there, and I can totally tell the difference now.
Yeah, baby.
What?
You can see when someone's just like, okay, let's go party, okay, and then whenever you're not, you're like, oh, you're boring, blah 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 blah.
I have a question though.
Yeah, go for it.
Real quick. So, have you ever gone through a season where you had to like recollect yourself, and maybe you've not been the best like friend that you could be for somebody else, and then how could that like affect how they view you? Would they be like, oh, she's not like a good friend because blah blah, but really you were like just going through something?
So I have Kipola moments that I like to call. I have them actually pretty frequently where I like just zone out. And then nothing happens for a certain amount of time. Nobody hears from me. Like I have these moments. Sometimes they're like a week. It's been like a couple weeks. It's been a couple of days. It really depends. I would love to be able to answer that question. The only thing is I feel like if you're actually a friend, you communicate, and people haven't communicated. So like I never know if I'm actually not a good friend or a good friend.
Because they're not letting you know.
Because they're not letting me know. But then à l'inverse, me, if I have an issue, like I'm going to come up to you and tell you like there's an issue. So like people don't necessarily
speak up.
But then they like just like for example, they'll just like disappear, or all of a sudden we'll be in this situation and like I have no idea where it came from because it just wasn't spoken about. And like I actually had this friend that I like recently actually had this discussion with, and I was like, okay, I can tell you're like upset with me. I need to understand why.
I had the same discussion too a couple of weeks ago,
and the person just wasn't able to like tell me, and the person was like, oh well, I don't know, I can't be like you where I could just tell you what it is like that. But then if you can't, I just feel like we're not actually friends because if you're not able to tell me what it is, then
you have to openly communicate. Yeah,
I'm just gonna say a quick shout out to my best friend Buddy, because he's the only one basically that took a step back, and then I realized that I did something wrong, and he was basically able to tell me, you did this and this and this and that, and I don't appreciate that. And then I'm like, okay, I'm trying to fix it, and then I fucked up again. And then he was like, you know what, like I've told you what was going on and you didn't fix it, so it's done. And then I was like, you know, like you're actually the only person that told me I was being a bad friend. Yeah. So I want you in my life.
Totally. I feel like if they tell you something's wrong, then you at least have that opportunity to like switch it up or like adjust, right?
You have to look yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, I need to
If they don't tell you something's wrong and then they're just upset, then what can you do about it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But at the same time, I would like to I would like to preach self-awareness a little bit. Just 100%. Just kind of know where you are, what kind of space like you're in, and just be careful like with your friends and your surroundings.
Totally. Well, I mean, like me, to be honest, like right now, like I've had really good friends and I've had fun and I've had like all this and that and yada yada yada. Right now, I'm really focused about positive energy.
Yeah, no negative energy around me.
For real, like if there's an issue and you just can't tell me, and like now it becomes this whole big thing. Like I cannot have you around me right now because I literally do not have the time for negative energy right now, and I don't want it either.
Yeah. Or like, don't put your stress on me. Like, if you're stressed 100%. About something, no problem. Let's try to fix it. But don't put pressure on me. Don't tell me, yeah, it's all going to shit. Like, no. If there's a problem, there's a solution. If there's no solution, that means there's no problem. Chill and move. No, it's true. It's true. Like, when you think about it, if you have a problem, every problem has a solution. If you do not have a solution to a problem, that means there was no problem to start with. So do not come and put that stress on me. If there's no solution, there's no problem. Move on.
I agree.
JayKay said it.
JayKay land.
This is JayKay, and I approve this message.
You know, I said that.
Okay, so we're actually 3 minutes to ending. We didn't even go through like half of our questions.
Because we're having so much fun. So it's like that.
So I want to say final thoughts. Anything. Just what's in, like, how you feel right now, what's your vibe, like whatever it is, just like final thoughts, like what you want to end on.
Final thoughts is just honestly, I want to say thank you to everyone that like encouraged me on being myself and appreciated JayKay and JayKay Land and everything. Totally. I want to say thank you also to everyone who didn't believe in me and whatsoever.
Yep. Shout out to the haters.
To be honest, shout out to the haters. When I was young, I was like, okay, they're just flexing. No, shout out to the haters because that makes you stronger and everything. Yeah. And I could be in a bad space. I could be happy, whatever. But at the end of the day, I know where I'm going. And it's everyone around me that was there, that is there, and that's going to be there. That's going to determine who is JayKay, what is JayKay Land, and what is both of them going to do together, you know?
Excellent.
So shout out to everyone. Yeah. But I still hate y'all, the haters.
Okay. So shout out segment. Excuse me. So first, there's a great CEO of consumer banking for the company Chase Bank. Her name is Tashonda Brown Duckett. She said, Tashonda, she said, deposit equity in your confidence. So just like know that you're enough. Know that you're dope. And she actually, I like that she's a Black woman, CEO of Chase Consumer Banking up there. Wow. And she says the word dope. Like that's dope. Like people up there don't say that, but she's so authentic. Yeah. But she said deposit equity in your confidence, and just like that's a quote to live by. And we were talking about people that propelled us like forward. So definitely y'all, Kipola, JayKay,
what's up?
Us doing this, like that's good. Shout out to my brothers like Hunter and DJ, like I said. And then just my whole village, like my siblings, we're so close. We talk every day.
Yeah, I love your family's energy.
Thank you.
Good
so
vibes.
Dope. Oh, coronavirus didn't let me see my brother in New York when I came here for him.
Drove 20 hours or more.
Also, I listen to a lot of podcasts, so there's a lot of people that we don't know each other, but they are pouring into me. I met Yvonne Orji, but her and Lavia Jaid are doing great things. Jamil Hill, she's a journalist that is absolutely dope. So many people that I could name, but
maybe you'll put them in the comments or something.
Man, shout out to Uninterrupted, pouring so much into like athletes that are being more than athletes too. So that's dope.
Shout out.
To me, if I can end on something, it would just be like, guys, your peace of mind is worth the world. So anything that costs you your peace of mind is not worth it.
Thank you.
The world is literally dying, like legit. So life is too short to be doing something you just don't like to do.
If you don't want to hang out with someone, you're too tired, just tell that person
Don't do it. And do anything that you do want to do, because
no one's going to do it for you regardless.
Totally.
Just be selfish.
100%.
Honestly. Just be selfish.
100%. That was it. So Kipola here with JayKay and Link. It's been fun, guys. Hopefully we get to do this again in ATL.
Yeah, thank you.
Shout out to Rockwall Studios.
Shout out to
Rockwall Studio for having us. Amazing quality of service. If you need any podcast studio, you know where to go.
Yeah.